जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ ಚೆನ್ನೈ ರೇಣುಗು ತಿರುಚಿರಾಪಳ್ಳಿ
Hyderabad को 50 एक्सप्रेस पॉलोबोटी स्टेशन नेताजी भवन कृपया ध्यान दो.
It's 7 p.m. on a Friday night, and in case you're indecisive about what your party plans for the night are, let me tell you that Cricbuzz Live is where the party is at. I'm your host, Anubhav Jain, ushering you in with open arms and accompanying you on the VIP list, or I should say VVIP guest list, are Lisa Sthalekar and Shaun Pollock. Lisa, Polly, welcome to the party.
Thank you. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, good to be here.
Can we just start off by raising a toast?
Oh, yeah.
Two?
To this party, the fact that I'm present, the fact that I'm an esteemed company on my debut.
Yes, we hear that you're going to break out into Hindi for us as well.
I'll as long as you guys have brushed up your
You'll
Hindi.
have to explain.
Yeah. All right. Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Yeah, excellent.
What's the extent of your Hindi knowledge? You have your roots in India.
Yeah. No, I can understand a little bit. There's certain words, more words I'm starting to pick up as I spend a bit more time here and I watch Bollywood movies. But yeah, don't ask me to speak back or really to be able to translate fully.
I bet Polly's Hindi is a lot more comprehensive.
No, Shabash, Chilo, Jaldi. There's one, the short yard, I used to say. But then the young boys, when they used to, in Mumbai, when they used to be fighting against something about ekdukia, like I'm going to give you a punch or something, ekdukia.
Yeah, I don't know. My guess is as good as yours.
I always used to say, what is that?
Worked well.
I used to say, what is that? This is like, well, no, if he wasn't cheating. He was cheating. Yeah, I'm going to give him a smack. Like.
Yeah.
But look, it's my debut. You know, I'm an esteemed company, and I think it's only fitting if I'm dressed to the nines. And a big thank you to our styling partner, H&M, for making me look the part. I think something else that looks the part, at least a lot more attractive than I do, is the fixture that we have on the cards. It's Kolkata versus Hyderabad. Both teams started off slowly, but now slowly but surely finding their feet, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, through some individual brilliance and some magic, especially Kolkata. I think we're all still trying to come down from that cloud nine with Rinku Singh and what he was able to do. So, yeah, it's a huge game for both teams, more so, I think, for Kolkata, given that it's the home ground expectation that you have to win on your home surface. Is huge in the IPL, and you definitely want those victories early on in your tournament.
And after Rinku Singh's heroics that you alluded to, Calcutta now find themselves on 4th position in the points table. So Calcutta, having played 3, won 2 matches, lost the first one against Punjab. Hyderabad sitting not so pretty in penultimate position. They've played 3, won 1, lost 2. But of course, the good news or the silver lining being the fact that they won their last match. So lots of positives for Hyderabad as well. They're slowly but surely finding their feet. And now, you know, the South African trio, your favorite South African trio, back in the midst.
Yes, South Africa Sunrisers Hyderabad. Well, it was nice to have them back. Obviously, the captain at the helm as well. They missed him for the first game. So it was a little bit disjointed. And Kane Williamson missing out. I think things have been a bit hubbly-bubbly for them. So they kind of settled down. You do think that this is a massive game for Kolkata. You know, and if we look at the RPL and all the years when they've been successful, they've kind of made a fortress of Kolkata, haven't they? Where teams go there, struggle with the conditions, struggle to adapt to their spinners and what they can do. So they'll be looking to do the same. I mean, they got out of jail in the last game. I mean, wow. I know Joy was pretty joyous after that one because he had given up hope on them. But yeah, I think it is a big one, especially at this stage of the tournament. I think they're both trying to find combinations. They're trying to work things out, particularly at the top of the order, trying to get their combinations right. And if they do get on a bit of a run, coming off an easy win, Sunrisers in the last one, whoever wins this all of a sudden's got 2 from 2, and they'll feel like they're on the right track.
And you spoke about, you know, finding the perfect combinations. Regardless of what the combinations are, there's absolutely no doubt that the 22 men who will be taking the field have gone through a lot of hardship throughout their lives. But in the face of that hardship, they've definitely shown a lot of grit, determination, which is why I think they deserve the moniker Men of Platinum, because they're as tough, as resilient as Platinum is. And one such man of Platinum who's definitely shown unwavering resilience great self-belief, determination. I could go on and on, but I don't think there are enough words to actually do justice to the resilience that this man has, is Sunil Narayan. You know, he went through hardship in 2020 when he was reported for a suspect action, but then rose from the depths of despair to the heights of ecstasy.
Yeah, he did, and I think all West Indian players should be men of platinum because they wear it, don't they? Around, like they wear the
Gold.
most. Yeah, they do. So look, he has gone through some interesting times, hasn't he? When your main tool of trade is questioned, and you have to kind of go away and change your action and work on it. And for the next probably 2 years, he wasn't as successful from a bowling perspective, was he? He really did struggle, and up and down the batting order as he does with Kolkata, whether he opens, whether he comes in the middle. So everything was being thrown on him, and you do require a lot of resilience to kind of find your way out of it. Yet we muck around now and we say, you know, in 2040, he'll still be bowling with an economy rate of just under 6 in the IPL. That's how good he has been able to be through all of this adversity.
And this man of platinum, you know, as Lisa said, has gone through a lot of adversity, but come out stronger. They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And he's growing younger by the day. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the sequel to The Curious Case of Benjamin Button finds him as the protagonist. You know? But look, he's got a prolific record, especially at the Eden Gardens. He's been a one-team man, you know, having represented KKR since 2012, now racked up 150 matches for them. I mean, Paulie, just look at that average strike rate economy, second to none.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, isn't it? 57 wickets at your average. Economy rate 6.23 on that ground. And you're talking about resilience, and he has had to be a man of platinum because he's had to find different combinations. You know, he had those brilliant variations, and initially when he came in to try and pick him and what he could or couldn't do, then there was a spell when we went for that, you know, re-sorting out or rejigging his action. He kind of lost the variations. He had to find some other ones. And I mean, to be able to find that and then just come into the top level and produce it and show what you're capable of again, it's a massive resilience and a real strength of character, a platinum strength of character, if you want to put it that way. So, yeah, they'll be hoping from a big performance from him tonight again, as he tends to deliver. Chakravarti will be there as well, so him in tandem, I'm sure they'll be asking plenty of questions. But yeah, he was kind of the MVP. Until Rashid Khan came in, and now Rashid Khan's maybe taken over that mantle. But yeah, when we were around and coaching and playing and whatever, you just always looked at him and thought, it wouldn't be a bad option to have in your attack.
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons why we call him a gem or a man of platinum. And thank you so much for all your resounding responses to the Man of Platinum contest that we had last week. I think the overwhelming favorite was Ruturaj Gaikwad, based upon the votes that we got from you across all our social media platforms. And do keep on the lookout for future such contests as well. We will be putting out other contests going forward, and we would love to see your participation going forward as well. So the news from the middle is that Calcutta have won the toss at the Den at the Eden Gardens, and they've chosen to bowl. Unchanged lineup.
Bowls? That's a massive surprise.
Massive surprise, isn't it? I think death, taxes, and teams choosing to bowl after winning the toss. But unchanged lineup. No Jason Roy, no Lytton Das. Yeah. They did arrive in India, in Calcutta, but they won the last match, won the last 2 matches. Shaun, I guess if it ain't broke, why change anything?
Yeah, I suppose that, but I think you've also got to have an eye on the rest of the tournament. And, you know, who's going to be your guy at the top of the order? Who's going to be the consistency? Cricbuzz, he can do a job, but I'm not sure you're going to get the consistency after. And we often look at these RPLs and say, top 3 batters. If you have your top 3 batters firing in a tournament, invariably you do well because they lay a good foundation on most occasions. I don't think they're going to get it from those 2 at the moment. So I wouldn't be surprised. I understand your point of winning, but it wasn't the openers who made them win the game. It was the contribution at the back end. So I think there's just maybe been there for too short a period. Lytton Das and Jason Roy haven't really had enough time to say, okay, we're ready to take over the mantle. But I'd be very surprised in the next 2 or 3 games if one of them is not introduced.
I'd probably, moving forward, look at probably Lytton Das as potentially doing it. I think Jason Roy hasn't necessarily fired with the bat. He got, I think, 132 against Bangladesh, but that's about it. Whereas probably Lytton Das, I know it was against Ireland, he's at least contributed a number of half centuries. So that's potentially another combination at the top that Kolkata could potentially turn to.
Yeah, because we actually came to South Africa, Jason. We got 100 there in Bloem. But in many ways, in the SA20, he was out of sorts in the shorter format. The 50-over game, he's got a couple of scores. So, yeah, I don't know where he's at from a batting perspective. I mean, as a replacement, he comes in. So, I mean, I don't know what sort of mindset he's in. But, I mean, the best of him is still quality. But I have liked what I've seen from Litton Dust as of late. I think he's worked out his little game plan. You know, it's not always the regular manner of standing and delivering, but he's found a way to be really effective. And, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a gig.
But he did score 145 not out, Jason Roy, in the PSL. So recently has been in some good touch. And I think, you know, as Calcuttans or people from Calcutta will be waiting for Das and Roy to be opening the batting as well. I think that's going to be quintessential Calcutta. So we wouldn't be surprised, you know, with the chopping and changing that they've been doing, that we see that opening pairing as well. So no changes in Calcutta's lineup, but there is one change in the Hyderabad team. So Abhishek Sharma back in the team for Washington Sundar. So this is the starting 11 or the batting 11, and we can go through this quickly. Mayank Agarwal, Heinrich Klaassen, Rahul Tripathi, Aiden Markram, Harry Brook, Abhishek Sharma, the name highlighted, back in the team. Marco Jansen, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Mayank Markande, who was very impressive in the last match, picking up 4 wickets. Umran Malik, India's Ferrari, and T. Natarajan. So I'm guessing we'll probably see a new opening combination yet again in this match for Hyderabad.
Yeah, I mean, it's listed there. I don't think Heinrich Klaassen will be coming at the top. You know, he's pretty much suited to playing in the middle order. But I'm sure with at the break when they make the changes, you'll probably get maybe Washington Sundar back in, or that would, or Adil Rashid. That could be an option because I think it will turn.
Did they pick?
Yeah, I didn't look there. I think they've got Klaassen, they've got Markram, they've got Jansen.
That's it, wasn't it? So 3. So potentially, yeah.
But Washington Sundar's a surprise because I think he strikes it all right.
He's good at both.
With the bat and the ball.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
And he has been a saviour for India at times. So, yeah, I'm interested. Maybe there's some matchup that we're unaware of. Or
Not to mention the fact that Calcutta has some left-handers as well. Venkatesh Iyer, Nitish Rana, Rinku Singh.
Yeah.
So there would have been a good matchup with the off-spinner bowling against them.
Well, and we know that you look at the last game that Kolkata played at Eden, I think the spinners picked up the bulk of the wickets.
9 of them.
Yeah, so therefore spin is going to be so effective. So you kind of want to stack potentially, unless the pitch is completely different. And we've seen that already throughout this IPL, a couple of strange conditions.
But Harry Brook's the 4th one. So they won't be bringing Rashid in, yeah.
But the source of comfort from Washington Sundar fans' perspective is the fact that he does feature on the impact player list.
Yes.
And so there is like a high degree of probability that he does end up featuring in the second innings when Hyderabad's
Well, they can make their changes earlier too. We've seen a few games where maybe they'll use one of the seamers for the power play. And then after the power play, get him in. Because what I do think is with this combination that they've had, is they've underutilised Aiden Markram's little off spinners. And he's really coming to his own. We know, being in South Africa, we've watched him at SA20 internationally. Now he's starting to become pretty consistent. And they haven't really had to use him because you had the Washington Sundar operating. But I think if that does turn, you might see halfway through the innings, they say, listen, get that spinner in or Washington Sundar in, and then that's what they can do. But I'd be very surprised if he doesn't come as maybe an impact hitter.
He's bowled 2 overs so far in this tournament.
Aiden has.
Yeah, so none for 14. So, yeah. I mean, he's the captain. He can put himself on whenever he wants. The joys.
Absolutely. You know, we spoke about the fact that both teams are starting off the campaign on a slow note, but then finding their bearings. Something else that's common between both teams is the fact that both of them have opening wars. You know, so many opening combinations that both have tried. And there's a very pertinent question, very interesting question that Shivang Gaba sent across pertaining to the opening combinations that both teams have tried out. And Shivang asks us, for the past 2 seasons, SRH and KKR have had opening conundrums, and it is continued this year as well. Who among the 2 teams have to sort the issue badly? Lisa?
I feel like probably...
I'm going KKR.
Are you?
Yeah. I mean, it's been lingering for 2 seasons now.
It has actually, you're right.
I mean,
Whereas Hyderabad have normally had a good combination that they've survived. So this is a new territory for them.
Yeah, because the Bairstow missing
Yeah.
out, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
if he had been there, that would have been all sorted. You would
That's a
play
fair
him.
point.
Harry Brook is, I think, could be the long-term solution for them for now. They seem like a side that also sticks to it. I know it was Bears ball and all those things that were going along, but McCullum was changing them left, right and centre last year, wasn't he? I mean, the combination, we couldn't pick. We're like, okay, who's it going to be today? It's like, it took up half our chat here on Cricbuzz about what the possible combination can be. And Aya's now moved to 3. So I think it's them. I think to settle a team down, there's very few sides who are going to be successful in a big tournament like this who haven't settled on who their top 2 are.
And in fact, if we take a look at the average opening partnerships so far this season, then Hyderabad rock bottom with an average of 16, and then Kolkata not too much better compared to Hyderabad at 19.67. So I think the constant chopping and changing that both sides have done this season, Kolkata in fact last season as well, has certainly been hampering the starts that they get, because typically you want a good start in the power play, and it's the opening combination that sets the tone for the power play. But with the chopping and changing, that's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, well, look at the scores. You look at the teams and the scores they churning out is like, stock standard who's opening the batting for all those top 5 teams.
Yeah.
When you get into the bottom 4, that's where they've been chopping and changing. I mean, Punjab's another example of they've tried this option, tried that option. And that's what brings consistency. When they've got those guys at the top striking and knowing what their role is, they're not looking over their shoulder. And you don't want people in the top 3 to be looking over their shoulder, because if you're going to bat in the power play, you've got to be backing yourself. You've got to be playing with confidence. Are you right, Lise? I need a smack on the back.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's right.
I think Lisa's shocked by some of the numbers that she's seen. That Kolkata and Hyderabad have put up. But a follow-up question with regard to the opening combination. There have been lots of changes and 3 different opening combinations for Hyderabad. But the one constant has been Mayank Agarwal. But he hasn't quite found the same form that we've seen in previous seasons. What's plaguing him?
Yeah, I mean, I've always watched him from a distance. I watched him on the tour of England that he opened the batting, actually went quite well there. Watched him tour South Africa. And I believe he's got a bit of a technical issue. The way his bat goes, I think he comes in too steep to the ball and cuts across it. So his kind of area of scoring has almost been restricted to going up and over the offside. He hasn't really been able to use the access straight down the ground. So I'd be surprised if they haven't done a little work behind the scenes trying to get him a little bit more technically correct to be able to stand and deliver. But he seems, when you see him play, you think, well, this is such a talent. This has got such ability. How have you not forced yourself into competing and producing as often as you should? So it does come as a surprise. As I say, I would love to get into the camp and find out what's going on behind the scenes. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I'll get there. Everyone, I'm alive, just.
I think it might prove the fact that Lisa's probably a Hyderabad fan. Seeing those numbers, she's like, those are sorry numbers.
Yeah. They are sorry numbers because they've been so successful for a long period of time.
It's been the top 3. I mean, for Sunrise, if you think about it, their success they had, the year they won, it was those top 3. What was it? Warner, Bairstow and Williamson. It was just, you didn't have to rely on anything else, whatever you got. So to have it like bit up in the air about who's your guy and who's going to do the job, it must seem quite strange for them in that camp.
And it's not going to get any easier for him today, because he might be up against KKR's spinners, the spin trio. Lisa spoke about the fact that that spin trio took 9 wickets in the last match, the most by a combination of spinners in an innings in the IPL by any team in the IPL history. Mayank Agarwal versus KKR spinners. We spoke about Sunil Narayan at the very start of the show, but then Varun Chakravarti, he's an ace up Nitish Rana's sleeve as well. And so far this season, he's done fairly well, picking up 5 wickets when he picked up 6 in all of last season.
Yeah, he really struggled last year. I think there was a lot of questions about his fitness and what he was going to do. And once you've had a successful year, and the second year, everyone kind of knows your tricks. So you've almost got to start to preempt what people are going to do to you. And he was probably a little bit slow to change. But I certainly think this year he's been able to start off really well. And once you start off well, you have that confidence and that belief, and away you go. And he's going to play a huge role for them for the rest of the tournament.
Absolutely.
Particularly if the surfaces play like they have there over the years.
And you'd expect them to get slower and lower and turn a little bit more.
When he played as well, I think it was the 2 seasons back, when he got his Indian call-up, it was about, for me, he was just consistent. He was landing everything. Any variation he tried, he landed it. you almost got the feeling when it went to Abu Dhabi and Dubai and that he kind of lost that plan about how I'm supposed to operate. And he was bowling like really rank bad deliveries, which you didn't see from him in the years before, drag downs, over pitching, full tosses. So I think he's gone back to the simplicity maybe of saying, when I'm doing my variations, then I've just got to make sure I keep hitting my areas consistently. And maybe that's through having a chat with Nareen, asking him what he does, because that's what he does. I mean, that's all he does, really, is that he's got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but he lands it and he lands it. And Rashid Khan's very similar. And you can't get away from it, especially on a Kolkata surface, because the assistance is there.
And he's certainly going to be a handful in the first innings when Calcutta come out to bowl, because Calcutta won the toss and surprise, surprise, they've chosen to bowl. Earlier we used to speak about the dynamic duo of Sunil Narayan, Varun Chakravarti, the two mystery spinners, but now the dynamic duo has turned into a talismanic trio because Suya Sharma has come out of nowhere. He's played a couple of games. He's impressed in both games, especially that second one against Bangalore. How impressed have you been with this unknown commodity? You could call him that.
I mean, this is what we love about the IPL, isn't it? That you just find these rare gems who haven't even played professional cricket, really, or first-class cricket. And because he hasn't, there's not any footage. There's nothing. So it's almost like you go back to when you're playing club cricket and you just...
Our day.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what makes it more mysterious as well, maybe. Yeah.
Correct. And you just have to try and pick up, okay, this guy's flicking the ball at the top of his mark like a leggy, and you give the right leggy or an offie, or, you try and guess everything. And it's taken a bit of time for players to understand that he's actually going to bowl plenty of wrong-uns. Like these point of release is past the perpendicular, but he slides it on. He doesn't give up the stumps very often. To be able to do that when you haven't played a lot of first-class cricket or any first-class cricket and then do it on the biggest stage, you've got to take your hat off to him.
I think also the thing that they've got is because he's the third spinner, in many ways the captain goes to the other two when the pressure's on. But when he feels like they're on top, they get him in. And that's the nice time to be bowling. You maybe will have to see how he goes if both of the other guys are put under the pump and he knows to step up under the pressure. That might be a little bit more challenging for him. But he's in a nice situation being surrounded by those other two. It's a nice trio to be part of.
And Hyderabad, of course, will be batting first. We spoke about the top order woes, but someone who's been an island of excellence in a sea of mediocrity, someone who's been a beacon of light in Hyderabad's top order batting darkness has been Rahul Tripathi, was phenomenal in the previous game, scored 70-odd with Aiden Markram, got Hyderabad over the line. How impressed have you been with someone like Tripathi?
He was really good. The shots he played as well. I mean, I remember watching that partnership, and I think Markram was like 4 or 5 deliveries, and they'd almost put on 50 together. I mean, he took the attack apart, and he was the sole contributor in that partnership initially. So it's good that he's finding his feet. I like the options he was playing, and the way he played the spinners as well. Some good sweep shots behind square, and that's going to be important today, isn't it? That's why even someone like a Harry Brook, it's one thing playing spin, but it's one thing playing spin when you get to Kolkata because it's such a different surface and it can be very difficult to deal with. So the fact that Tripathi comes in with the form he's played, the way he played in that last game, I think he'll be pretty confident and he'll have to play a big innings for them, that's for sure.
And then you back it up that he's had a great Sage Mushtaq as well. I think strike rate, close to 150, and then even Vijay Hazare as well. The highest score of 156. So his white ball cricket throughout from last IPL, throughout domestic cricket has been exceptional. So even though he got a duck the first game, he's got, no, stick to my process. I know everything's going well. Came back with a 30-odd and then that innings that we just saw as well.
Absolutely. In fact, during the 2021 season of the IPL, I was working as an anchor for Kolkata Knight Riders, which is when Tripathi played for the Knight Riders. And I can tell you, based upon observing him firsthand, always busy, diligent, the first one at practice, the last one out, the first one at the gym, putting in the hard yards every single day, and a coach's favorite student by a country mile. And so he's definitely reaping the rewards of the hard work that he put in, and I'm pretty sure he must be a sponge in front of, Brian Lara, when Brian Lara must be giving him his opinions, his suggestions based upon the years of experience that he has. Someone else who's now finding form. In fact, he was in good form coming into this season. Henrik Klaasen. You talked about the fact that the Klaasen that we're seeing now is a new Klaasen, a Klaasen who's very different compared to the Klaasen we had last year. This is Klaasen 2.0. What makes him class in 2.0?
Yeah, I think from South Africans, what we've seen of him as of late is his ability to play spin. He really is by far our best, and that's saying something with some of the guys he's surrounded by. But he's just got that ability to really pick length so well, particularly against the spinners who turn it away from the right-hander. You know, if you're a left armer or leggy and you drag down, he's got that brilliant, he's quickly onto it, pull shot, he cuts really well. It might be a bit more challenging with the guys bowling wicket to wicket and straight and trying to spin it back in at him. But he really has, I mean, we were talking in commentary back in South Africa when he was playing. I think he got 100 against England, against Adil Rashid and Moeen Ali. And he had another real quality knock against the West Indies, where we were saying, any kids, really watch him. On our surfaces in particular, watch him how he plays spin. He doesn't commit forward. He picks up length really well, hangs back. And I think he's had limited experiences for South Africa over the last 2 or 3 years, but now he's kind of established him, and he's a regular, and he's in the first 11. And he's really taken the confidence from that, and is playing really well. We haven't seen him in this tournament so far, but I'm expecting good things from him, because he's also come here often and sat on the side and been a bit of a net batter for a long period of time. So he'll be chomping to really make an impact and show what he's capable of.
And he's really come of age, hasn't he? We haven't seen him feature in this tournament so far, but then he was the 4th highest run getter in the SA20 behind his Hyderabad captain, Aiden Markram. So we've really seen being classy with the KL.
Yeah. No, the numbers speak a lot about that. And the tournament, you know, from what the bits and pieces that I was able to capture, certainly captured the imagination of the general public, and I think the talent that was there and the pictures that were produced as well certainly helped for that. I haven't seen a lot of him, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing him in the IPL and seeing how he copes in this environment with all of the extra expectation that gets thrown onto players when they play for the IPL, the owners, the lights, the action, you know, the constant kind of people, the noise talking about you. And there's a lot of noise, good noise about him. So with that is also the added expectation that, okay, no one's seen me. I've got to hit the ground running. There's soaking it in and you know, finding my feet. I'm here to do a job, which is the expectation of all overseas players, and you've got to go from ball one.
Absolutely, and there's certainly going to be a lot of noise, lots of expectations when the Hyderabad openers walk out to the middle. But who are the openers going to be? Abhishek Sharma back in the starting 11. We saw Mayank Agarwal and Harry Brook opening the batting in the last match. But with Abhishek Sharma back in the mix, who do you reckon the openers are going to be?
Aren't they making their way onto the ground now? Haven't we got an inkling?
I think I timed the question perfectly, you know, because they still haven't walked out to the middle.
Well, I think it would definitely be Harry Brook.
Do you think that you think that's his best position?
Yeah, I think it is for him. Particularly.
That's indeed the right answer, because Harry Brook has walked out to the middle.
1 out of 1.
Did my producer tell you the answer?
No. Nothing in my ear at the moment.
You know, it's been a fabulous party with you guys, with y'all, but I think there's a late entrant to the party, someone who's always a bottomless source of joy, with emphasis on the word joy. No prizes for guessing. It's Joy Bhattacharya with his beaming and infectious smile. And Joy asking us, in his only test, his teammate hit a triple century. Incidentally, that teammate and another person to make his debut in the same test have all played for the same Indian franchise. Name this player. I said, you know, you won't get any prizes for guessing who's the late entrant to the party, but you will get prizes for guessing what the answer to that question is. Any idea?
It's too long, the question.
I need to see it again. Spit it up for us. Who got, now I'm straight away thinking, who got 300?
300, that's what I'm
hit
thinking.
A triple century in his only test.
Triple century, incidentally, that teammate and another person to make his debut in the same test have all played for the same Indian franchise. Name this player.
Well, who only played 1 test and the other guy got a triple century? Joy, really? Really,
What is
Joy?
he doing?
I think Joy doing Joy things.
Yeah, causing me headaches. That's what he's doing.
Can we get back to you on the answer?
Yeah.
Give us
I've got to do a bit of
time.
research.
We'll do a research. You guys should do your research as well. In fact, we have plenty of time
the answer's probably
to do a
already in.
research, because we will reveal the answers during a post-match Cricbuzz live show. We'll move from one guessing game to another guessing game. Predictions. Calcutta walking out to bowl. Hyderabad walking out to bat. Harry Brook and Mayank Agarwal. Eden Gardens, what do you reckon the first innings total is going to be?
Okay, ladies first. Come on, Lise.
Sunrisers, their highest total so far, 145.
That's not that's not good reading.
It's not great, is it? Just thinking Kolkata.
Don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it. Go
Okay,
with the gut feel.
171.
Okay, I'll go
171.
167.
171, what's 167?
Very
That's very
close to
close.
mine.
That's very close. But I typically stand on the shoulders of giants like you and just end up sitting on the fence. But you haven't left any room for me. In the middle.
We've left no room for
Nothing at
fence.
all. Nothing at all. So I'll be bolder today. 167, 171. I'll go with. Let's go with 181. 181. I'd like to hope, as a KKR fan, that it's much lower. But 181.
Well, you're under pressure. You spend so much time there. If you haven't worked it out by now on that ground, then it's like...
Shame on me. Shame on me. But you guys share what your predictions are as well. Connect with us across all our social media platforms. Be as precise as Lisa and Shaun were with their predictions. And this was just round one of the party. We have good capacity, so we'll be joining you guys again for round two on the house when we see you at the Cricbuzz Combox at the end of the 10-over mark. Until then, cheers.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ ಚೆನ್ನೈ ರೇಣುಗು ತಿರುಚಿರಾಪಳ್ಳಿ
Hyderabad को 50 एक्सप्रेस कोलकाता स्टेशन नेताजी भवन कृपया ध्यान दें